Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another weather forecast, and we have another big update here, not on the tropics, but on major winter storm Billy. It's expected to bring up to 2 to, believe it or not, 4 feet of snow for a portion of the southwest. Here we have winter storm warnings, watches, and advisories across millions of the southern plains and the portions of the southwestern Rockies, including New Mexico, Colorado, portions of Kansas, as well as Texas and Oklahoma. Those areas could possibly see over 2 feet of snowfall. Yes, that's including areas in the southwest like Texas. We're going to be seeing extreme amounts of snow with blizzard conditions because of the 50+ mile an hour winds coming in from the north. So it's going to be a wintry wonderland. And also, if you guys are watching the Denver Bronco game, it is snowing in Denver pretty hard. It's going to be very significant. Temperatures are struggling to get past the 20s as highs and overnight lows for the next 2 to 3 days will be getting close to below freezing for areas as far down as Dallas area and areas as well more to the north, where we're getting that heavy snow. Can be seeing lows possibly below zero or in the 20s and teens. So it's going to be really interesting to see this October, more like January. But before we get in the video, please subscribe if you're new, hit the like button and post notification icon. But without further ado, let's get this winter forecast. So here's looking now at the National Weather Service, and as you do see, we have winter weather advisories all the way from areas of the Minnesota area down to Texas, and this is a very large update. We actually do have windstorm watches as far down as southeastern New Mexico and far down into southwestern Texas. Look, areas near Pecos, Port Stockton, Seminole, Post, Snyder, Abilene, Big Lake, Midland, all the way down to the areas near Alpine. I mean, these are way down in southern Texas near the Mexico border, and we have winter storm watches, and we got windstorm warnings for areas in the metro area of Colorado Springs and Denver. Look at this. We have Steelmont Springs, Greenlee, Sterling, Fairplay, Castle Rock, Denver, and Colorado Springs under winter storm warnings. And then we also have windstorm warnings near the south and to the western part of the state, as well as including Utah. That's including Aspen, Denver, Grand Junction, Meeker, Craig, Lake City, Durango, Alameda, and Proposa Springs. And we got winter storm watches for the Albuquerque area, I believe so. We do actually have Albuquerque just outside those windstorm watches, but areas in northern upstate New Mexico, including Las Vegas, not Las Vegas, Nevada, Ranchama, and Teos, you guys also have winter storm warnings. We also got warnings for Nebraska and all the way up into Wyoming, including Cheyenne, areas near Saratoga, Scottsbluff, Bridgeport, Chater, and Harrison, and areas like Valentine's. And look at all the winter weather advisories all the way, including areas like Kansas City, Topeka, areas near Amarillo, areas right here, areas in northern Texas. In these general areas, we will be getting windstorm warnings very soon. I'm calling it. We're going to get windstorm warnings very soon in these areas right here. If you're in the purple and you're under winter weather advisory in upstate Texas, if you're in a winter weather advisory in southwestern Kansas, western Oklahoma, southeastern Colorado, and the general areas where we have those winter weather advisories, expect a winter storm warning extremely soon by the end of today, most likely. And then these winter weather advisories are all the way up into areas near Missouri, all the way up into Iowa, and areas near Sioux City and Sioux Falls. We actually check out now the snowy conditions there near Denver Metro. A decent amount of snow, and we have inches left to come in some areas up to 4 feet. That's always going to be southwest of Colorado in those high elevations. Near Netherland, you see the snow starting to accumulate on the roads. It's obviously areas in the highest elevation. You kind of see some mountains right there. But right here in the Denver Metro, it's struggling to stick on the roads. But where we are in the higher elevations, we are seeing some those road surface temperatures are a lot colder. Near Greeley, obviously, as well, starting to really stick on the roads. But last but not least, east of near Gold, we are seeing the heaviest accumulation as of right now based on the camera. You can see the roads are completely covered. Nothing. I mean, this is probably over a foot of snow on the ground here. Actually, correct me wrong. Maybe around 8 or 9 inches on the snow on the ground near Gold. I actually don't know exactly where that is, but I will find out maybe by the end of the video. But let's check out now what we have on the NAN 3 kilometer. As you see, that snow is starting to really arrive in portions of Denver. But look at that blizzard conditions. I mean, the amount of snow that's going to be coming down per hour is just mental. Plus the winds here. You see how close those ice balls are. The next 12 hours, that snow and ice, that rain is going to be turning into ice mix for portions of Texas and Oklahoma. That first round of snow is going to be entering areas like Kansas. And we got that second round that's going to continue bringing blizzard conditions near Aspen areas down to Colorado Springs. And then we're going to be seeing some ice. Some dangerous ice conditions for portions of Missouri, areas near Kansas and Oklahoma. There, it's going to bring some icy conditions for Kansas City, Topeka, areas near maybe Miami, Oklahoma, areas near Norman. And then here, that's going to be the first round. And then we got a second round that's going to be coming in as well. Here comes the second round. The second round could be possibly be a bit more significant ice level wise, and it's going to be closer to areas near Gainesville, Texas, areas near Norman, and maybe even Oklahoma City, and this snow will possibly go back in these general areas here. But let's actually check out the NAN 12 kilometer. I've actually not checked what they're showing here, but I have not checked the new 18Z on 12 kilometer. Let's see how interesting it is. Like I did say, blizzard conditions because of the strong winds here. This is going to be included for New Mexico and portions of Colorado and southern portions of Wyoming as it is finishing off. And there's that first wave. I mean, a ton of ice, though, for Texas, Oklahoma, all the way up into the Missouri area. And then that's going to be the first wave. And then we're seeing that second wave that's going to continue bringing ice and snow for portions of Texas and Oklahoma, and continue to see that snow sticking out and around for areas like New Mexico. As you see, these snow accumulations are very high for areas near Missouri, up to a foot near Joplin, a foot for Oklahoma City. Going to be seeing over 2 feet of snow for New Mexico. But I do think the NAN 3 kilometer is a bit more accurate on snow wise. That's the NAN 3 kilometer. I think the NAN 3 kilometer is a bit more accurate compared to the NAN 12 kilometer, so I would go off the NAN 3 kilometer if I had to. But I do see areas in Colorado and all the way up in upstate New Mexico be seeing over 20 to 30 inches of snow. And then, like I just said, it's going to be an impressive amount of snow for portions of Texas and Oklahoma at this time of the year. I mean, you don't really see 10 inches of snow for Oklahoma City before Halloween or in general at all in the time of the year. But this is very impressive. 10 to 12 inches for areas near Oklahoma City, 7 to 12 inches up areas near the Oklahoma border. Going to be seeing up to 9 to 12 inches for far southeastern Kansas. Seems like Kansas City is going to be just getting miss out on this, 2 to 4 inches there. Areas near Jefferson City, 7 to 12 inches. Joplin, you guys might actually get the bullseye on this. Surprisingly, you guys don't get the bullseye, but it seems like this one's going to be a bit different here. I mean, it is 2020. We're just continuing to get shocked. Let's check out now the global models here on GFS, the regular global model. I do see there's really strong winds coming in through Colorado and New Mexico all the way to Texas. So I'm not over dramatic on the blizzard condition. It's not just because of snow rate, it's because those winds. I mean, look how close those isobars are. Let's go now zoom into the south central though. But as you do see, I mean, really impressive that snow and winds. And then you got extreme ice and freezing rain for portions of the south central there. And then there you got the second wave. Like I said, the second wave will probably be the most intense. It's going to bring really heavy snow for portions of upstate Texas, north of Amarillo, areas of eastern New Mexico. Like I did say, southeastern Kansas. And then later on, moving by Tuesday. I mean, this ice is just going to be extremely dangerous here. I mean, this is going to be some extreme and dangerous conditions because it'll be well below freezing. So this ice will stick without a doubt. And then it seems like maybe Zeta and Billy will combine in lows and bring in a mega rainstorm for portions of the north. So here's now the European model as well, another global model. As you do see, we are seeing a little bit of snow and some snow flurries in the Midwest, but that's not really important because, not only are there used to snow, that's very light snow they're seeing right now, but we're going to be seeing, actually, it's really interesting. Billy, or this big snowstorm, is going to bring more snow for Texas and Oklahoma than it's going to bring in for Wisconsin, or going to bring in more snow than it's going to bring for Nebraska. It's really not something you hear much. I do see, but look at that. Extremely heavy snow for areas like Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, in Texas, and then you got that second wave there, which is going to be a lot more significant. I mean, look at that freezing rain. That is extremely dangerous there for some areas. Let's actually zoom in for areas like Kansas. I mean, it's just that's not something you want to see at all. Obviously, some areas are used to it, like Minnesota and North Dakota, but areas in the South Central like this are not used to that at all. But I mean, look at that. That's that's just a ton of ice there. I mean, that's just extremely going to bring some dangerous conditions there. And that's not something you want to see whatsoever. But let's check out now. Let's now check out what we're going to be seeing here with the ice accumulation, shall we? Let's check out the ice accumulation on freezing rain. Let's actually go onto that. We can actually see if we can actually find it here. Sleet. Let's check out the freezing rain, of course. That freezing rain is going to be really dangerous. I mean, wow. Look at that, guys. Look at that. 1 inch of ice. That's extremely dangerous. 1 inch of ice. Not only is it 1 inch, it's for Texas. Texas, guys, they are not prepared for that. And it's October. No one in Texas prepares for something like that. I mean, 0.8 of an inch. I mean, that is really impressive there. But let's also, last but not least, check out the freezing rain. Or sorry, the sleet. We just checked the freezing rain. The sleet will be less intense. Obviously, freezing rain is full on ice. Freezing rain is really cold. It's really cold rain. It's when it's like slightly above freezing, like 33, 34 degrees. It's rain, but it freezes on contact. So it freezes immediately because it's that close to being freezing. So that's freezing rain is really the biggest threat when it comes to snowstorms. Sometimes it could either be the blizzard conditions or freezing rain, especially if it's over an inch, which we're seeing this case in. But look at that, a half an inch of sleet. But sleet is slushy ice, snow, and rain kind of at the same time, and it does not freeze on contact. It kind of melts at the same time. So obviously, it seems like as if freezing rain is definitely the biggest threat, and it seems like freezing rain will definitely be the biggest threat in this case. But oh my God, look at the GFS. The GFS is showing a ton of snow for areas of the Southwest and the South Central. I mean, look at that. Up to 2 feet of snowfall for portions of the panhandle of Texas, 22 to 24 inches of snow. Areas in upstate New Mexico, 26 to 28 inches of snow. Areas in far southern Colorado, over 30 inches of snow left to come. Look at that. Areas of far western Oklahoma, 16 inches of snow, guys. 16 inches of snow. That's not something you see much at all for Oklahoma in one snowstorm. And I don't know what their average snowfall is per year. I know it's under 30 inches, I think. That's already half your snowfall for the year in one October snowstorm. That is months away from winter, which is December 21st, and we're here October 25th. 2 months away from Christmas, and that's just crazy what we're seeing here. I mean, you just see the monster low pressure. Gonna bring quite the impressive amount of snow, though. I mean, just really impressive. Yeah, but let's check out, see if we can find. But yeah, I mean, that's really. Check out the 24-hour accumulated precipitation. I mean, you're going to really see this is going to bring in a ton of snow, especially these general areas of Oklahoma. They're also going to bring in maybe some potential severe weather. But this is going to be the 24-hour snowfall on the ground. So how much snow you're going to be seeing on the ground. So this is not like overall. So I do see at some point we are going to be seeing around 15 to 12 inches on the ground for portions of Texas and Oklahoma at the same time. And it's expected to all melt by Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So some areas could see maybe a trace of snow left, maybe for Halloween, but it's not guaranteed. Here looking at the European, they are also showing a mental amount of snowfall for areas of the Southwest and South Central. Let's actually just zoom in state per state. It may make the video a lot longer than it should be, but some people don't have the best eye, and especially when it's this small of a screen, you can't really see it. So let's start with Kansas, shall we? Obviously, like I did say, the southeastern part will get the most amount of snow, and definitely they will 17 to 18 inches of snowfall based on the European, which seems to be the most accurate in general on snowstorms as well. So this one does seem to be something you really want to keep an eye out for. 4 to possibly 7 inches of snow for the Topeka area, 2 to 4 inches, maybe 5 inches max for the Kansas City metro area. But yeah, that's Kansas. I do the far western tip of Oklahoma. Possibly going to see over 20 inches of snow, and I mean the far little tip right there, bordering Colorado, Texas, and areas like New Mexico. Let's check out now. Speaking of New Mexico, let's actually talk about. Let's go to Oklahoma first because since it does cover Texas at the same time. So we're not going to zoom in Texas because the Oklahoma map does already cover the part of Texas we want to see. And the upstate areas, those far counties of Texas, can be seeing 14 to 17 inches of snowfall. Areas near Amarillo can see 14 inches. It's just going to be really impressive. I mean, see all the way to 4 to 6 inches there in the far southern panhandle there. No snow for Dallas, no snow for Fort Worth. I mean, it's going to kind of be really limited to the northern part of the state there. Now let's go out of Oklahoma. Let's go talk about now Colorado. We really want to talk about Colorado as well, since they're going to get the most amount of snow left to come. And I need to see 32 inches of snow for the Colorado, New Mexico border there. I mean, it's going to be really impressive. This whole general area, you don't really think about Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas. You don't think of those areas getting over a foot, maybe even near 2 feet of snow at a snowstorm at all, even if it's October, January, February. You don't think about snow in those areas really, because there's a stereotype of those areas as tornadoes. That's a stereotype of those states, Texas, Oklahoma, and Kansas. Stereotypes tornadoes. I mean, you gotta be honest. That's the stereotype. So even if it's dead of winter, you still don't think of snow for these areas. But I mean, the fact that it's October and we're seeing this far south a strong snowstorm that's going to drop up to 20 inches for these areas in one snowstorm. It's really impressive. Upstate New Mexico, be seeing around 20 to 30 inches, especially that right in the border states. I see Colorado and in the Denver and Colorado Springs metro area, 5 to 6 inches of snow. Aspen, up to a foot of left to come. It's going to be obviously that kind of western part of the state and that southeastern part of the state is going to get the worst of it out of Colorado. So if you're in the southwestern part of the state or the northeastern part of the state, it's not going to be too much snow that you can't handle. Let's talk about pivotal weather because this one's really impressive. I mean, this one is blowing my mind, the snow coming from pivotal weather in the model here. As you do see, look at this, guys. Look at that. 47 inches of snow left to come. That's just under 4 feet of snow. 4 feet, of course, is 48 inches. That is just under... It's basically 4 feet. It basically is 4 feet of snow. I mean, that's crazy. 4 feet of snow in October. Even if it's Colorado, it's still impressive. Even though Colorado's used to that. Areas of upstate New Mexico as well, 47 inches of snowfall. This one's going to shock you, though. Look at that, 22 inches for northern Texas there. 23 inches. It's going to be just getting under 2 feet of snowfall there. Areas near Albuquerque, possibly up to a foot of snow. Areas near southeastern Kansas, 16 inches of snow. Areas near the metro area, 7 to 10 inches of snow. Areas to the north, west, and the west of the west of Denver, will be seeing over 20 inches of snowfall. Models getting up to 4 inches, 3 inches for upstate Missouri near Jefferson City in the bordering of Kansas. Possibly 6 inches for Topeka. Maybe possibly around 3 inches for Kansas City there. Going to be seeing a few inches left for Nebraska, for the far western part, obviously, where we have those warnings, going to bring an additional 9 inches of snow. And last but not least, I know I've been kind of rushing through this video quite quickly. I just didn't want to make this video too long. The current temperatures right now, the temperatures are really impressive if you think about it. I mean, look at that. 80s. We're seeing upper 80s and lower 90s for portions of Texas right here. This is Sunday. Let's go to those same areas. And this is now Wednesday. They're seeing sub-freezing temperatures, and they are just seeing 91 degrees today right now to 3 days from now to sub-freezing. I mean, that is a 70-degree difference. I mean, that's crazy. That's showing you how large and how significant of a rapid change this cold front's going to bring. But current temperatures, seeing 16 degrees for Denver. Really cold game right now versus the Chiefs. We got just getting those single digits there for a portion of Wyoming. Could maybe reach the negative digits right now. but we're going to be really focusing once it actually moves in into the morning hours of tomorrow. We're going to bring in teens for a portion of the northern Texas. Going to bring in negative digits now for Colorado, -12. Really cold morning for Colorado. Areas as far Nebraska is going to be seeing those potentially negative digits and single digits, and that's going to continue to get really cold. The overday highs are going to be 20s and 30s for the overnight highs. This is Tuesday now, and then the snow starts to melt by that Wednesday mark. But look at those temperatures; they do support snow. And I think it's Texas. How can they get 2 feet of snow? Well, look, 17 degrees. That's definitely going to support that snow. 18 degrees there. The overday highs in the 20s and 30s, and then obviously it starts to get really hot, and that snow does melt. But I mean, really impressive. I mean, however you say it or put it, this is going to be a very impressive snowstorm. No matter what model you look at, whether it's European, GFS, the NAMS, HRRR, whatever model you look at, this is still a very impressive snowstorm, not only for October, for in general. Hope you got into the video, and bye, guys.